to go over. I think the biggest thing we have to look at on our simple solutions lessons and quizzes is that you are answering the question that they are asking. Almost everyone, but maybe 2 people got a question wrong on Friday because it asked you to put the answer in inches and you put the answer in feet. I think the question was asking about, I think that a lot of you put 6 feet, but the answer was 72 inches. It was about a log being cut into 3 sections, 18 feet long, 6 feet per section, how many inches per 6 feet. That was one commonly missed. Another question that was commonly missed from Friday's quiz was, it was about corn cob, and you had to come up with 2 equations or number sentences to describe the questions that they were asking. And a lot of you came up with the correct answer of 200, I think was the answer, but you didn't show me using your number sentence what you did to get 200. So you had to include that in your answer to get all points. So today, where would we like to start off? We are actually going to do number 5, because that's we're going to be doing a little mini lesson on how to do a question like number 5. So I'll get to that one later on. But is there one we would like to start with? Olive?
3, and by the way, I didn't think we would do 5, so I crossed it out with a pen. Can I just do it on a separate piece of paper
Yeah,
on
you
my
can do it on a
whiteboard?
separate piece of paper. That's fine. Honestly, if you guys cross it off, I didn't warn you about it. I was just going to use it as my example on our little mini lesson. So you said number 3, a baby humpback whale is about 1 yard long. At 12 years old, it will be almost 15 yards long. In inches, what is the difference between the humpback's length as a baby and its length as an adult? So it starts off as 1 yard long, and then we have 15 yards long. In inches, what is the difference between the humpback length as a baby and as an adult? So let's first say, wow, that's a lot to unpack with one question. If it starts off as a yard long and ends at 15, let's first do 15 minus 1. And we get 14. We're going to take that 14 and we have to go to yards before we can even, from yards to feet, before we can even think of feet to inches. So we need to do 14 times 3. What do we get when we do 14 times 3? 14 times 3. 3 times 4, friends. 3 times 4. Starting off. Olive, what is 3 times 4?
12.
12. So I write the 2, I regroup the 1. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 more is 4, 42. So we have 42 feet. And now we need to figure out how many inches are in 42 feet. So we're actually going to be doing 42 times 12. Well, we don't know how to do that yet. So what I'm going to say is we're going to do 42 times 10 and 42 times 2 and add the 2 answers together. Okay? So first, 42 times 10. We want to think of that as basically 42 times 1, and then we have a 0 at the end, okay? So my answer would be 420. 420 for 42 times 10. Okay, remember we move it over just one box if we have times 10. And then we need to do 42 times 2. So 42 times 2. 2 times 2, what do I get? Kira.
4.
4, and then 4 times 2, Kira.
8.
8. So let's go ahead. 420 plus 84. 0 plus 4 is 4. 2 plus 8 is 10. Regroup the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. Our answer took a while, but our answer of how many inches difference between as a baby and as an adult, we get 504 inches difference. It's a lot of work for one problem. Which other one would you like to see? Lucas.
9.
Number 9. Elliot got 34 pieces of candy at the party. That was 11 more than her brother Easton got. How many pieces of candy did Easton get at the party? Choose the correct equation and solve it. All right. So the sister got 34. That's 11 more than her brother. Which equation are we going to choose? A, which is 11 plus C equals 34, or B, 1 plus 34 equals C. You have to solve too. Which equation do we choose? Anybody? Hank?
A.
It is A. And then in order to find C, we have to do 34 minus 11. And we get 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. C equals 23 pieces of candy. Hank, which one would you like to see?
It was 11 plus C equals 34.
What was that?
It says on A, 11 plus C equals 34.
Yeah. So, but in order to find C, I have to subtract. So I have to do that in order to find C. Yep, that's a good question though, Hank. That one typically trips us up. What is another one you would like to see? I think, let's look at number 14. We have different angles. We have different angle choices. What kind of angle is angle LTY? Remember that we have a right angle. An acute angle is less than 90 degrees, and an obtuse angle is greater than 90 degrees. So looking at the picture in number 14, what kind of angle do we have in 14? Lucas?
An obtuse.
It's an obtuse angle. And it's an obtuse angle. Any other questions? 1, 2, 3 that we've done. Lucas?
7.
7. Oh, I'm not solving 7. I think you can do 7. It's addition, okay? I'm not going to do 7. But I do want to know, I do want to see us solving. You can solve number 2 any multiplication strategy you want. It does not have to be distributive property. You can solve it any way you want in box 2. you were doing 2,435 times 5 and finding the product of that one. 5 times 5, we get 25. I'm solving a standard algorithm. 5 times 3 is 15 plus 2 is 17. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1 more is 21. And 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 more is 12. 12,175 should have been your answer, no matter which way you solved number 2. Okay, I'm going to be solving number 5 on a bigger piece of paper so that you can really see. And this is actually where I'm going to segue into that. So you can fill out number 5 as I fill it out on my big piece of paper. And then we're going to be doing a couple of examples of it before I show you what you are going to be doing for your lesson today. So for number 5, we call this matrix model. I'm going to put that at the top, matrix model. That's what they call it in Simple Solutions. It's also called area model in your matrix module. I spelled that wrong. Let me rewrite that. Matrix model or area model. So matrix model. Also called area model. This is for 2 by 2 digit numbers. So that's like a 10. They're in the tens place and the tens place. That's as big as we're going to get for the matrix model. So what you have is a square, and it's split up into 4 parts. The question that they are asking you on number 5 was 42 times 27. 42 times 27 equals, I have to split that up into basically like we want to think of expanded form. So across the top, I'm going to have 40 plus 2 times 20 plus 7. I've broken those two into smaller pieces, okay? So 40 plus 2 times 20 plus 7. And just like we did on the area model, we're going to be multiplying by each box and then adding up our answers, okay? So we want to think 40 times 20 is going to be in the first box. This is why I'm doing this on a bigger piece of paper. You might not be able to fit all of this in your box. I just want to point out basically some of the thinking that's going on with it. So 40 times 20 is really like 4 tens times 2 tens. What do I get when how many tens do I have when I do 4 times 2? What is 4 times 2? Olive?
8.
8. So I'm going to have 8 tens times tens. What is 8 tens times tens? What is tens times tens? 10 times 10. What place value am I in now? Olive?
Hundreds.
Hundreds. So now I have 8 hundreds. So if I go back up to my top part, I actually 40 times 20 equals 800. And I can check my answer because I have 1, 2 zeros in my multiplication problem and I have 1, 2 zeros in my answer. So then maybe I move to this second box. That's probably the hardest box because we have 40 times 20. Now we're just doing 20 times 2. 20 times 2, which is really 2 tens times 2 ones. And in the end, my answer is going to be in tens. 2 times 1. What is 2 times 1? 2 times 1. Olive.
2.
2. So really 2 tens. Oh, I'm sorry. 2 times, I said 2 times 1. 2 times 2. I want to say 2 times 2. So what is your answer, Olive?
4.
4. Sorry, I had to backtrack and think. 4 tens. So really I have 40. Then I'm going to come down to this little box and I have 40 times 7, which is 4 tens times 7 ones. And what is 4 times 7? 4 times 7. Lucas.
28.
28. So I have 28 tens, which is the same as 280. I can check my answer again. How many zeros do I have? In my answer and then in the multiplication? Because I can't say 40 times 7 equals 28 because that is way too small. It has to be 280. My last one is pretty straightforward. We're just doing 7 times 2. And what is 7 times 2? Lucas.
14.
14. Okay, so this is where it's kind of different in your simple solutions book. You have 2 lines here, and you have 2 lines here, and then you have, I believe, a box. There's a plus sign, there's a plus sign, and there's a box. In the box goes your answer. You can either choose to add across or to add down, but you're only doing one or the other. And then from there, what you add across, your answer goes in there. So when I add across, that means I'm adding 800 plus 40. 800 plus 40 gives me 840. When I add across 280 plus 14, I get 294. From there, I add and show what's in my box. So 0 plus 4 is 4. 4 plus 9 is 13. 8 plus 1 plus 2 is 11. My answer is 1,134. Okay. We're going to try another one of those, but you can record in your simple solutions book that your answer was 1,134 for number 5. If you had already crossed it off, that's fine. From now on, when we do go to do a question like 5, we're not going to cross it off. We are going to attempt it from now on. But we're going to have a lot of practice with this, and I probably won't put a quiz question about matrix model. Not on this quiz, most certainly. Maybe the next one, it might be the one after, because we're going to have a lot of practice with this. Do we have any questions so far about matrix model? Let's try another one. So what I want you to do is either get your whiteboard or a piece of paper that you can follow along and write what I am writing. It might be nice if you have a piece of paper, then you'll have a permanent copy of your matrix model. I am also going to add this to that resource with the multiplication strategies anchor charts. So please keep that in mind. All right, let's try another one. So I'm moving this out of the way. What I want you to do, my question is going to be, let's say, I'm making it up off the top of my head. Let's say 56 times 32, okay? 56 times 32. So what you want to do is you're going to draw your box. You're going to split your box into those 4 parts that I was talking about. And on the outside, I'm going to label 50 plus 6 times 30 plus 2. And on the inside of the boxes, I do like to label what I'm multiplying, even maybe before I start solving. So my first box, I'm going to be doing 30 times 50. My second box is 30 times 6. My third box is 2 times 50. My third box is, my fourth box is 2 times 6. And I get all of that labeled. All right, so I'm doing 30 times 5, and I want to think of it as 3 tens times 5 tens, which would end up giving me a place value of hundreds. So what is 3 times 5? 3 times 5, Lucas?
15.
15. So if I go back up to my top, 1500s is the same thing as 1,500. Notice my 2 zeros, my 2 zeros. My next question, 30 times 6. So I have 3 tens times 6 ones, which will give me an answer in my tens. 10 times ones, tens. 3 times 6. What is 3 times 6? Hank, what is 3 times 6?
18.
18 tens. So I end up with 180. Two ones times 5 tens. My answer is going to be in the tens. What is 2 times 5? Olive.
10.
10. So 10 tens actually means 100. And in my last one, I'm not going to write all the additional things because we're just doing 2 times 6. And I think we should know 2 times 6. What is 2 times 6? Kira.
12.
12. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to be adding 1,500 and 180. I'm going to add those two up to get an answer. And I'm also going to be doing 100 plus 12 to get an answer. And then I'm going to add both of those together to get my final answer. So if I have 1,500, 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 8 is 8. 5 plus 1 is 6. 1 plus 0 is 1. And then 100 plus 12, I get 112. I've kind of given myself no room right there. So I'm actually going to have to go down here a little bit and do 1,680 plus 112. Okay. 2 plus 0 is 2. 8 plus 1 is 9. 6 plus 1 is 7. And 1 plus 0 is 1. My ending answer is 1,792. How did we feel about solving our second matrix model question? Kind of little bit. Can maybe set it up a little bit. All right, so we're going to do a third question, and then I will show you what you're going to be doing as independent work and how to set it up. So let's do another one. Let me see which kind of questions I've already asked. Let's say, I don't know, 73 times 28 equals 73 times 28. So we draw our box. The biggest thing that's going to help us is practice, practice, practice on this. So we start off 70 plus 3 times 20 plus 8. All I've done is I've broken those down. I'm going to give you a moment to copy down my box so it looks the same on your paper. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start writing out each multiplication question that I'm going to be solving in each box. So I start off with 70 times 20. I have 20, let's say 3 times 20, so I can keep straight which ones I'm doing first. 8 times 70 and 8 times 3, okay? I'm just doing where they match up. All right, so let's start off with 20 times 70. So that's again, so 77 tens times 2 tens will actually give me 100, an answer in the hundreds. So I start off with that. What is 7 times 2? 7 times 2. Hank.
14.
1400s, right? So that's actually 1,400. Again, look, checking. I have 2 zeros. I have to have 2 zeros. That's not always going to work, but that is a way that you can really check and see, oh my goodness, I have missed something. If I had just put 140, that really wouldn't make sense with 70 times 20. 70 times 2 would give me 140, but times 20, that's a number way bigger than just 140. It has to be 1,400. When I do 3 times 2 tens, my answer is going to be in the tens. What is 3 times 2? Kira. Yep, it is 6. So 6 tens is 60. 1 0, 1 0. 8 ones basically times 7 tens. My answer again will be in the tens. What is 8 times 7? 8 times 7, Olive.
56.
56 tens, which gives me 560. 560. And then 8 times 3 gives me an answer of, Hank.
24.
24. So I'm having to add these amounts, okay? I might want to circle my answer in each box to remind myself. In some of this, I can do mental math. Like I might not have to set it up. Like I can look across and see 1,400 plus 60 is going to give me 1,460. I didn't have to write it out. If you need to write it out, please do. But I did a little bit of mental math and recognized that I can add 1,400 plus 60 and get 1,460. If I do the same thing on the next one, 560 plus 24, I'm adding that up. I know that I have 588, okay? My second line, when I add these two, again, if you need to put it over top of each other, that's fine, and add them, but your answer will be 584, right? 584. When I add those two together, that's where we have our little square down here, and we have our total. So 4 plus 0 would be 4. 6 plus 8 is 14. 1 plus 4 plus 5 is 10. And 1 plus 1 is 2. Our ending answer is 2,044. Okay? 2,044. How is that one in comparison? Do you feel like your confidence is boosting just a little bit? I can still see some shaky middle ground. That's okay. What we're going to be doing today is some practice. Practice, of course, doesn't always make perfect, but over time it makes perfect. So in your Google Classroom, it's just appeared for you. It says holiday multiplication practice. There is some that look like our matrix model, and there are some that are what we've been doing for the last couple of weeks. And so you have to, there's only 6 questions. They're all word problems. And numbers 2 4, numbers 2 and 4, you're going to be doing matrix model on it. So I'm going to show, I'm not going to do 2 and 4, I'm just going to show you how to set it up. So number 2, once you get it pulled up, you'll see that it says 48. The candy store had a sale on candy canes. They sold 48 boxes of candy canes with 26 canes in each box. How many candy canes did they sell in all? To set that up on your paper, I'm going to be doing both of them on one page. Again, I'm not solving it. I'm just showing you how to solve. You're going to put 48 times 26. And I'm just making this a little smaller than I have been, just so I can fit them both on one page. So really I have 40 plus 8 times 20 plus 6. And I'm also going to be solving, and my answer would go, down in this little box. My other one that I'm going to have to do matrix model for is 79 times 12. And I have my squares, 79 times 12, so 10 plus 2. And again, my answer goes in this little square to the side. The other ones, you're going to be doing, Mrs. Jones bought 4 new bikes. Each bike cost $123. How much did Mrs. Jones spend on the bikes? Another one, Elsa wanted Ariana Grande tickets. Each ticket cost $158. If she bought 4 tickets, how much would it cost? Last Friday, 367 children got their picture taken with Santa in the mall. If each picture cost $8, how much money did the mall make on pictures? And then Best Buy had a sale on computers. Each computer cost $989. If Justin bought 3 computers for his business, how much did he spend? And when you are, oh goodness. So you're going to actually have to add a text box to these because a text box is not coming up. Do we all know how to add a text box? I'm going to quickly, again, for anybody shaking their head no, that they don't know how to. Again, it's just this little T. I put that in there. For some reason, those text boxes didn't show up. You'd have to put them in there yourself and then just double click. I am so sorry that that did not appear for you. Do you have any questions about what you're doing? Your independent practice today is only completing these 6 questions, okay? Tomorrow, you're going to have more questions with matrix model. I want to see how you do today with it. So when you are done with this independent work from here today, what I want you to do is not only, fill this in, but I also want you to upload a picture of the work you completed, okay? If you did it on a piece of paper, all right? I just want to see some of your thinking that you did as you filled it out. Hank, what's up?
I can't upload a picture because I used my whiteboard.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Just if you do use paper, please try to upload a picture for me. Or if you use a whiteboard, just upload like one single picture so I can see like one of your problems. Okay, that would work too. There was a math assignment I gave on Friday. The holiday giggles multiplications riddle. That should come, you need to complete that. as well as the math winter word problems. That was actually due last Friday. So if you didn't get that submitted as well, I also am missing some Zern. I have a lot of friends who are done with Zern, but I also have like a third of you guys who are not done with Zern. If you finish before 2:15, please go on to Zern. If you're up through lesson 14, you can do Prodigy if you would like until 2:15. Okay, and remember, you get to Prodigy by going to your resource tab. There's additional resources, and there's a link to Prodigy in that additional resources window. Okay. Do I have any questions? I know math was a little short, but I think we really want to practice this matrix model and see what we're doing. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing that. There's a kind of color by number, and it sounds like really fun, and it is really fun, but it's kind of intense. There's like, I think 20 multiplication problems. And it's kind of like a very complicated color by number. And we'll be doing that tomorrow. So I really need us to kind of practice this matrix model today. All righty. You can stay on if you have any questions. Otherwise, you